Thanks, you guys. It's good to be here in Montreal. Everybody's really nice to the comedians here, which is great. Usually, like, when we're comics on the road, like, they don't give a shit about us. They'll just send any sex offender to go get us from the airport. I was in Alabama, and they sent this guy. You know when you meet someone and just right away, you're like, oh, you're crazy. Like, as soon as I met him, I'm like, this man is bubbling with insanity. I get into his car. This is the first thing he said to me. This is what he felt comfortable just opening with. He just goes, do you own a gun, baby doll? Because you gotta be ready, you gotta be ready to protect your family. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, I don't even have a family. I mean, I'm pregnant, but not for long. I think that's what we needed, you guys, a fun-loving abortion joke to really kick out the jams here. And at the end of the weekend, he took me back to the airport, and he had this kind of gross, soft expression that I didn't care for, and he goes, I just want to say I thought we shared some pretty special times together. And I realized, like, he had thought we'd been slowly falling in love. I was actively terrified the entire time I was with him. And he goes, and you is the first Jewish that I had ever known. Yes, he told me that I was his first Jewish. So I was very aroused. And he had brought some sort of duffel bag with him that looked very disturbing. He reached inside and he pulled out a painting he had made for me of a Star of David. It was one of the most disturbing things I've ever seen. You could take one look at it, you'd know, like, he will kill. He'll kill soon. And he started kind of batting it around my face, and he was like staring at me like he was doing a spell or something. This happened to me, you guys. He was going like this, come on, baby, come on. There she goes, come on. And he kept doing it, and then I realized what was happening. I think he thought that that's all you have to do to fuck a Jew. Like, maybe his uncle told him that when he was a kid or something. Like, if you ever want to have sex with a Jew, you just gotta flap a Star of David around the Jew's face. Keep flapping it there, be patient, it may take a while. But pretty soon, once the Jew's ready to be entered, their skin's gonna turn like the color of money. Once it's at that sweet currency color, and the Jew just be begging for it. She'll just be like, stick it in, stick it in. So we live together now, and I've never felt so safe. I've been seeing this guy for a while. We fight a lot. One of our big fights that we get into is he always gets mad at me because I like to joke immediately after sex. I don't think there needs to be any gentle gazing period afterwards. I've always felt like sex is done and now it's joke time. I like to throw change on a man after sex. That's very funny to me personally. I just like to take some coins and just toss them on his dumb post-sex man body and say something like, shh, less is more out of you, okay? You take those coins and you keep your mouth shut about what happened in this room, all right? What happened in this room is disgusting, okay? Why don't you go out and buy yourself something special? I also like to pretend like the guy tricks me into the sex. Like, the moment it's done, I'm realizing it's been a big ruse, and I'm kind of obsessed with those old films from the 40s. So the moment sex is done, I like to be like, well, I don't understand what that all had to do with helping the children. You said if we did all those awful things, those children would get their cure for polio. It was all a lie after all, wasn't it? I suppose I didn't need to be on my hands and knees now, did I? Didn't help those poor, sickly children one bit. And it didn't help the war effort either, did it? I guess that was a lie, too. You said if my feet were on your shoulders like that, the soldiers would get the help and support they needed when they came home. Well, I guess the joke's on me, laying here all covered in sin. He would not play the polio game with me, this loser. I feel like the right guy is gonna be like, listen up, sugar tits. Those children never had a goddamn chance. They are mangled with polio as we speak. Now clean yourself up, for Christ's sake. And he also always wants me to do a sexy dance whenever we hook up. Like, I'll put on lingerie or something, but I'm not gonna do a jig. It's too ridiculous. Like, this is not America's Got Talent. I'm sorry that I don't have a jazzy number I've been preparing for you. I'm like, can't I just give you money to go to a strip club? That made him really angry. But finally, I gave him a lap dance. But I think it was confusing for him because I was also singing a lot of Yiddish show tunes. I just put a bikini on. I was doing the Charleston. I was like, deedle, diddle, deedle, diddle, dum, ah. There was a sadness to it. I was grinding on him, which I thought was a fair compromise, but singing a lot of songs from Fiddler on the Roof. He was gently weeping at the end of his lap dance. He asked to be alone at the end. That was his request. He's no longer aroused by women. All right, you guys, thank you so much. That's it for me. Thank you.